in this day and time, with all the technology and computerized and digital media outlet sources, ways of communication, things of that nature, by that being one of the key factors that have really, really, really taken off in our world as we know it today. Although we're able to communicate and keep in touch via all these technological advancements, people are still looking for that human contact, that personal touch, that personal added sense of connecting to one another. Still, as human beings, we have that sense of longingness to have a connection to someone else, to another living creature. You know, whether it is an animal or whatever the case may be. But we, as sociable beings, creatures, we need that in our life. That's part of our growth. It's part of our evolution. It's part of who we genetically are on the very basic of levels. From the time we are born to the time we depart this earth. You know, whether, because, you know, you guys are people that be like, oh, you know, I just don't like people. But still, they like telling people that they don't like people. You know, so it's still finding that sense of connection, that personal connection between one and another. How White Tarot and Oracle and those two sources of being able to relate, whether, you know, it's spiritually, emotionally, mentally, hell, even physically, you know, is because of that personal connection. Because when you get a reading or you do a reading, you are connecting to other people. You are connecting to other individuals, regardless of where they are in the world. And you develop a personal relationship with these people, with the people that are subscribed, the people who aren't subscribed, the people who randomly come across your videos, and even through them, through the people that they come in contact with on a day-to-day basis, on an everyday note. Because if it's helping, you know, it's that energy is a continuation. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep flowing. And even when you do look at readings, you know, there's people that say, you know, well, there's the ones who are bad and those who are good. Nothing is ever bad. Nothing is ever good. Everybody has a role in this world, in this earth. Just like if you go back to the movie The Matrix, when the Oracle told Neo that, you know, when he was like, you know, I don't know. And she was like, look up there, you know, it says, know thyself. It's like, well, you know, then I'm sorry to tell you. He was like, I'm not the one. He was like, nope, I'm sorry, kid. You know, you got it in you, but, you know, you're just not. You know, he was all sad and depressed. But in that very moment, she, you know, crushed his dreams. It's like, man, I gotta go back to Morpheus. Tell my dude, man, like, look, you put all this faith in me. I ain't the one or whatever. But that was exactly what it is that he needed to hear to be able to become the one. He needed that. If she would have told him, yeah, you are, you know, all those events and all those things, that confidence that he was able to build and create within himself for himself. Because can't nobody tell you who it is that you are. Somebody can tell you, but it's not going to hit you like it is when you find out, when you figure it out on your own and come to that conclusion on your own, with your own self-discovery, with your own self-awareness. It's a lot more powerful. Just like to a kid. If you tell a kid to clean his room, you know, he or she just going to clean their room. Why? Because mommy and daddy told me to clean my room. They're not going to have that, what it feels like to clean their room on their own. But then when they have that moment, it's like, you know what? My room's a little messy, regardless of whether the motivation is, oh, you know what, let me hurry up and clean my room because I got this basketball game that I want to go to, or the movies I want to go to, or prom, or you know what, I just don't want to feel like hearing my mom and dad's mouth. But that moment, he's like, man, let me go ahead and clean my room. And then you kind of stand there, because I remember doing that. You kind of stand there, you looking around your room like, I did this. And ain't nobody had to tell me. Like, you feel a sense of pride. You feel good about yourself. And I'm not talking about the egotistical pride. You know, I'm talking about that good, healthy sense of pride. Like, you feel good about something that you did. No, even though it's something that, you know, you're supposed to do, because, yeah, that's your responsibility for having your room. You're supposed to clean your own room, you know. But it teaches you to have pride in your responsibilities. That's something that you can't get until you do it on your own. If somebody tells you that, yep, you're supposed to go to work, go to school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, do all this, you're going to feel empty because it's not a personal connection to that, to you. But going back to, you know, readers and how they're perceived as good, bad, dark, and versus light, it's all light or it's all dark. It really depends on the individual who's getting the reading and how it resonates with them. But the light serves the dark and the dark serves the light. Nothing can resist without its opposite. Nothing can. We need the positive and the negative. We need the negatives and the positive. If we only had one, we wouldn't have appreciation for the other one, and vice versa. We need both. It's a balance. If there was just all good, we wouldn't know what good really is unless we had the bad. We just wouldn't. We wouldn't know what the bad is. We wouldn't know what the bad times are if we didn't have a sense of understanding for what the good times were. And even still, it's all a change agent. If something is perceived to be bad or negative or dark, I see it now as a change agent. It's a change agent. Change is never really comfortable. Not the most influential changes that we are accustomed to making within our lives. Things that are a comfortable change doesn't necessarily make that big of an impact for us. Now, you know, I'm not saying everything, no, by all means, because let's say a change is you moving to a new place or moving up in your field or whatever the case may be. Yeah, that's a good change, but also it comes with that, you're going to be a little bit nervous with that. You know, you're going to be a little bit, but it's not necessarily it's a bad nervous, it's a good nervous. Because if that nervousness was in another situation, like you didn't do your homework, yeah, it's going to be a little bad nervous. It's essentially the same fear, the same chemical reaction, but because our mindset and our emotions has a different form of motivation, that's what it's bringing up within us. It's empowering that mindset and that motivation that we have at that very moment towards that particular situation, which is still essentially all based off of perception and one's own sense of reality. So there aren't any good or bad, dark and light readers or oracles or anything of that nature. Now, you know, I'm only talking about tarot and oracle. I'm not going to sit up here. We're not going to get into all the tangents in the world and society and all of that. That ain't my place. I'm talking about what it is I'm talking about right now. So I know some of y'all are like, well, what about these type of people and that type of people? For one, it's not my place to judge, not near nobody. Now, yes, do I have my set of morals and values, and I can stand up for my morals and values by going to somebody and be like, hey, you know what? I don't necessarily like what it is that you do. Yes, but just like I have my own set of morals and values and truth, that same person could be like, hey, I don't give a damn. You know, I feel like it's right, and I'm going to keep doing it. It ain't my place to tell them, hey, I put the knowledge out there, you know, from my own reality. I'm sharing my world with another person's world, and that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. And if it's up to them whether they want to see it from your world or not, ain't nothing you can do about it. And only God can judge. That is not my place to sit up here and judge somebody else, tell them they doing the wrong thing. They believing in the wrong religion. They're living their life a completely messed up way. That ain't my place. Now, you know, if I see something about you, hey, you know what? Out of love to want to help somebody to ease a sense of burden or, you know, whatever struggles or problems that it is that's going through, yeah, you know, I can put my 2 cents in, you know, the little bit of knowledge that I gained, you know, especially if it's something that I've been through, yeah. But that's all I can do. That's all I can do. Nobody actually forces a child in school to actually truly absorb that information. The teacher only can do sit up there and teach and talk and hope that those children are absorbing that information. But nobody can forcefully make a child learn. So even as an adult, the world is our school. We're never out of school. The world becomes our school. Reality becomes our school. And yeah, it starts as a kid, but we're fed it little bit by little bit because, let's face it, it's a lot of stuff in reality that, you don't just want to throw a kid, you're born, okay, boom, go out there and get a job, get a career. No, it's baby steps. It's a sense of development and things of that nature, which is our responsibility as parents to give our children. But just getting into, with everything that has been said thus far in this video, it's 11:55, and I looked at that. 11:55. If I mean something to somebody. But essentially, change is that balance of dark versus light, good versus bad, hero versus villain. It's that balance. It's finding that balance, and to find that balance you have to have those chain reactions, that agent of change, that agent of chaos, that sense of disorder. Otherwise, if you live comfortably, what's going to cause you to want to change your life? What's going to make you want to do something different? If you're happy being content in what it is that you're doing and saying and acting and behaving and going about your life, there's not going to be a motivation to change, whether it is to do better or completely transform, period. Because you're content. If you're content, are you going to mess up your contentness? Nah, I wouldn't. If I'm sitting here, I'm in the chair and I'm comfortable, sipping a little Mai Tai with an umbrella in it, I'm going to stay on my beach in my lawn chair sipping a Mai Tai with my umbrella in it. But if I know I got bills to go pay, that's the change agent to have my butt get them like, you know what? Tomorrow I got to get them to go to work. Let me go ahead and put this Mai Tai down, call it a night, take my butt to sleep so I can get up refreshed and go to work the next day so I can pay these bills. But it's everything in life that we go about is based off of perception. It's based off of a sense of reality. There is no good, no bad, no evil, no dark. There is, but there isn't. But that's based off of our perception. So once we get to a point and we're able to truly embrace that, understand that, at that moment, our emotions and our mindset is what makes it good, bad, ugly, dark, evil, whatever the case may be. But even still, everybody has their own roles in this life. Everybody's supposed to play that role in this life. And like I said, my basis of my foundation, I believe, is God. So whether it's God, Spirit, Source, Gaia, or the law of attraction, Tesla's 360 law, whatever it is that you decide to label it, God already knew every single part of my life, what it is I was going to do. He knew everything about it, which means essentially before he created me, he knew whether I was going to go to heaven or hell or not. He already knew. He knew before he created me that, you know what? So, law of attraction through faith, whether you go through astrology or attraction of energies and believe in destiny and fate, your fate is your fate. You can't necessarily change it, or your destiny, however, whichever term, because it's vice versa for different people. Everybody resonates differently. But to a certain extent, we only have so much control over our lives. And we only have so much control over our lives because our lives does not just entail us. That's why we only have so much control over our lives. We go out, we drive in traffic, we don't have control over the trains, over the buses, over the pedestrians, over the stoplights and stop signs and the one-way streets and the construction and traffic jams and car accidents. We can't control any of that. We could leave for work a whole hour in advance and still arrive late because we didn't know they decided to tear up I-75 in 18 million different places. And then now there's like 4 or 5 accidents along the way because nobody else was prepared for that to happen. We only have so much control. But the main things that we do have control over our lives is the things that we can control: our mindset, our emotions, the way we view things, the way we move, anything that has nothing outside of itself but within ourselves. Those are the things that we can control. All the things that are only within ourselves, not anything outside of ourselves. Everything and anything that's outside of ourselves, we have no control over. None whatsoever. Nothing. You could buy a Tesla today, a Lamborghini today. A Bugatti today. And then somebody else make like a bajillion of them. Now the value of that car to decrease, because now everybody can get one. They could put it on sale. It's like, you know what, we're gonna sell Bugattis for $1 for a year. Now your car that you just spent $500,000 plus on is now only worth like $1, because if you had the opportunity to go out and buy a Bugatti for $1, you ain't gonna get it. Hell, it's a car. I don't know anybody that's not gonna get it. I'll buy one for a couple of my cousins and nieces and nephews that ain't even old enough to drive. Why? It's $1. We have no control over that. We have no control over anything like that. Nothing at all. See your life and how everything that's outside of yourself, view that how you view the stock market. Everything is a risk. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing in life is guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to breathe your next breath. You're not guaranteed to take your another step. You're not guaranteed to see tomorrow. You're not guaranteed to get paid. Your company could fold over. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of people who was like, yeah, I'm going to get paid next week. I'm going to pick up this schedule. I'm going to be able to do this on my vacation in 2 months. And then the company folded and they had to make completely different plans. Or they had too many employees and they had to get laid off because they didn't reach their sales. Things of that nature. We don't have control over that. But basically, to sum everything all up, is when we, with tarot and oracle and things of that nature, we long for that connectedness. We long for that one-on-one with another person, with another being, with another soul, because it's a part of genetically down to the very basic cellular level that we are made of. We are a sense of energy. We are souls. That's what we are, and we are positive and negative atoms, and they group together. So tarot and oracle has reached this point of and people are seeing it, oh well, it's just a trend, it's something that's going to die off. Well, then that, I mean, it may not, I don't know. I mean, it's been around for a very, 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 very long time. So, I mean, and it's just now picking back up. But that's also because a lot of people are becoming more in tune with their intuitions. That's another reason why it's as popular as it is today. It's because we are going into that sense of higher awareness, higher being, and not just relying on the things that's outside of ourselves and what people say that we can and can't do. We are coming into those awareness. We are tapping more and more into our intuitions. We're basically going backwards. Just like I say, you can't know where it is that you're going unless you know where it is that you've been. That's why history is as important as it is in our lives. You know, and yeah, I get, you know, that history was changed and things and boom, bam, bam, yeah. A lot of stuff is, but hey, that ain't my place to say neither there or there or however the story goes. But I can trust my intuition. I can trust the things that I have learned and experienced through my life, through my personal experiences, through what I've seen other people go through that, you know, I care about or come across on a day-to-day basis or see and witness in the news and in society or just living our lives. I can go by that. I can go by what is going on in my reality. And so can you. We all do. We do on a day-to-day basis. But it's taken off the way that it's taken off because we look for that, for those people to, those soul tribes, for us to be able to resonate with, to be able to relate to and develop a personal relationship regardless of where we are in the world, regardless of who that person is, regardless what job they have outside of reading cards, what their history is, what their background is like, what their credit check is like, what it is they've done in their past. None of that is really a factor. None of that is looked upon. We don't do credit checks and history checks and background checks or anything like that. We accept that person for who they are right then and there today. Because everybody has a past. Everybody has a past, whether it is they want to accept it or not. Everybody has that. But when you do get a reading and you come across that reading, you're like, man, that reader really stood out. And you're not even worried about what they did in their past or anything like that or nothing like that. You worry about who it is that they are right then and there at that very exact moment. which is all what truly really matters, because every day is an opportunity to change. Every day is an opportunity to be something new, to be somebody different, to be who it is that we truly want to be, who it is that we are supposed to be in life. Every single day, every single minute. You could wake up that day and want to go down the same road, and then an hour later have a completely changed heart. Right very now. If we keep saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later, it never comes. The moment is always right then and there. It's always right now. Always. I don't care what your history, what your background is, you have the opportunity to change it right now. Right very now. But alright, y'all, at 22:00, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. It's your boy X. Go ahead and subscribe to, now, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. It's Spiritual X-Men Experiences, but for some odd reason it still says Spiritual X-Men. But it is up there. I'm going to go ahead and tag the link below. Like, share, subscribe. Alright, peace out. It's your boy X.